Welcome to Beyond the Qubit. I'm your host, Frank Dekker. Today on Beyond the Qubit, we welcome Olga Mamlyga, co-founder of Quantum Scout apps, and the team developed True Quantum Networks. Olga is a quantum cybersecurity pioneer who has turned first-hand experience with cybersecurity conflict. She grew up in Ukraine and she was watching critical infrastructure that came under attack into a mission to protect the world's digital backbone. Her company, Quantum Scout Apps, is building a physical level protection for all 7 layers of the OSI stack, combining multiple security defenses. Welcome, Olga. Thank you for joining. Can you describe True Quantum Networks?
Yes, of course. True Quantum Network is a complex architecture which can be built on today's IT infrastructure. Our True Quantum Network is shielding all 7 layers of the OSI model. The OSI model is a framework that explains how computers communicate over a network. It divides communications into 7 layers, each with a specific role. And our security is based on the hidden features of quantum mechanics, where part of the superposition remains in the complex part, the imaginary term, which can't be intercepted without getting noticed by the system. Our solution is robust, fit for dual use, even under harshest conditions, fast scalable to large size, and the failing of 1 or 2 security layers doesn't not compromise the security of any part of the system. And our True Quantum Network is meant for protecting, shielding critical infrastructure.
Okay, that's very interesting. And what are the main problems that you're trying to solve with True Quantum Networks?
The next wave of cyber threats is coming, and we all know this, and quantum computing, AI-powered attacks, and aggressive state-sponsored operations are targeting the systems that keep society running, like energy, finance, defense, healthcare, communications. Today's defenses, even post-quantum encryption, can only delay the inevitable, and our True Quantum Network is protecting exactly those systems from the current attacks and from the attacks in the future.
Can you explain a little bit the relationship between True Quantum Networks and IT AI? And IT AI, when I did my research, they have a very broad range of activities, from high performance batteries to converting desert into fruitful land, to quantum networks, and to cybersecurity. So can you explain a little bit what is the relationship and how does it work?
Yes, of course. We started ITI Solutions in 2022 with post-quantum resilient communication system. And this was based on 30 years of experience of a co-founder. And of course, in this period of time, she learned, she studied, she experienced a lot. So her expertise is truly broad. Plus, we have the team members whose interests are even broader, and head of research and development of ITI Solutions is also an inventor, and battery is his invention, and he was always interested in reforestation. So he had a chance to go to Egypt, and there he met actually the heart and soul behind Forestier. It's a reforestation project in Siva Oasis, and he got to know him and he said, that's an amazing person, let's join their project. So we are joining the project with our 3 technologies to supply them with electricity and water. So as you can understand, the companies are built on expertise, experience, and interest. And we started with ITI Solutions, and then we took a look. Yes, it's a bit too broad. We should separate quantum from IT, and that's why we said, let's have Quantum Scouts. And Quantum Scouts is the company for quantum networks and post-quantum resilient communication system and consultancy in quantum. And I understand what recently I have just written a post. Yeah, we can't go niche because the expertise is so big. And after so many years, there is so much to share. And we want to share and to improve the current solutions. And that's why it's so broad. Yes.
Now, thank you for having you on the show. Can you introduce yourself? What are your fundamental beliefs and how are they shaped?
Yes, my name is Olga Mamlyga and I was born in Ukraine and I graduated in Ukraine. I studied English and German, and in 2014 I wanted actually to move to the Crimea to start there part of my life, but because of the war I had to go to Germany and to stay in Germany. So this was already a first impact. And then in 2021, decided to move to Denmark, and the war happened. This was really very big for me. It took me months to recover, and we saw what could we actually do, because you're always hesitant. We have solutions, we're working, thinking yes, we should open the company, and then this was exactly the push. Yes, think about it. We can actually help with communication system that could potentially protect even defense sector. And that's why we said, yeah, okay, let's found the company in Denmark as we're already here. So it's very personal. It turned out to be very personal, although it wasn't meant like this. Yes. So
You've been born in Ukraine and then you want to move to Crimea?
yes, this was a lovely plan. Yes, we wanted to live in Yevpatoria, but it wasn't possible.
And why did you want to go to Crimea? Did you have specific reasons, if you want to study or for a job?
No, I was thinking I should have kids there. It's a lovely place because of the sea, and I lived actually near the Azov Sea, so it would be I was thinking it would be lovely to live near Black Sea. So it was really a perfect plan, and I couldn't. Yeah, and that was really a big shock. And from that moment on, I see, yeah, we can help, so let's do it. Let's go into it, because we are in industry, in critical infrastructure. So if you don't have really a mission, don't start there, because this is too messy, it takes too long. So you truly must have some personal motivation to start.
And what did it do with you? So that the war started, and how did it contribute to your key beliefs?
I understood critical infrastructure has to be protected. I see what is going on now here in Europe, how many people are suffer because of cyber attacks, and you understand if you can do something, you have to do it. You just can't sit and hope somebody else will do it. And we contribute our part, and this is already a lot. And you go out of your tiny box you're living in and into the world and say, yeah, let's do something together. And it turned out there are so many people that actually share our point of view, and they're also doing the same with what they can do. And it was, for us, it was amazing, because when you are sitting and you're not sharing your point of view, you believe you are alone in the world. No, there are so many people, and it's amazing. That's why I am now the one who is talking with the speech model, going around talking to people, building connections. Yes, and it's very helpful, because sometimes you believe, especially in the beginning, maybe we are alone. No, we are not. There are so many people that are joining us. They want to be partners with support, with everything possible. Yeah, and because of the personal motivation, experience, we are moving forward. So in times when you say, when we think, oh, it's stuck somehow. Yeah, but you remember, it's about critical infrastructure saving us. Yeah, of course. Let's do it. Yes. And then we are having inside of our small team then a conversation, pep talk, and let's continue. You can't give up. That's
So
the
the
point.
war with Crimea and the war with Ukraine, more recently, both had a major impact on your personal life, and that created, that shaped you as a character.
Yes.
And it created an urgency maybe to act. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that created definitely the urgency, because before the war, that actually was started for Ukrainians in 2014 when they invaded Crimea. And in 2022, everyone understood that cybersecurity is actually a thing, that yes, we have to do something in this field. Before we had the conversations with others, nobody would even consider it like, yeah, what is cybersecurity? What is the security of communication system? But in 2022, it was really out of the sudden important for people. We have to protect ourselves, our democracies. And people took a look at this and they said, yes, now we are open for conversations. Before it was very difficult. We talked and so many projects actually failed because people were not ready to talk about cybersecurity before 2022.
Okay, Olga, that's clear. Okay, coming back, you gave a very good example how the war with Russia and Ukraine that shaped your personality and your character. Do you have other examples that had a big impact on your character?
Big other examples, yes, it was really, I would say, it's quite stressful to change the countries where you live, to move. This shapes you also immensely to get to know another culture, because Ukrainians, Germans, Danish, all are different. And to adjust, to adjust people from different countries, from different cultures, that's the experience also of my life. I mean, and this is so important. Before, I wouldn't believe how different we can be. And now I understand this, and it's easier to talk to people from different cultures because of the experience. And also to explain the technologies, how to work, what to do. It's always different. It always depends to who you are talking to. And the languages, I mean, this is really priceless experience to move, to discover other countries.
Okay, that's clear. What are your key beliefs and how do they help you to progress through quantum networks?
We, and me personally, we treasure our democracies. I want to be able to say what I think. Sometimes it might be not very pleasant, but this is my truth, and it's really nice to share my opinion. And this is what we all treasure, the democracies, our system, and we don't want to live in the system where you have to keep mum, where somebody else is telling you what you should do, how you should do, what you should say, and what you are allowed to study or where you can't go. And this is truly for us very important. To protect what we have. Of course, it's not perfect. We understand it. We're not delusional. It's not perfect, but it's what we have. And this is where we can live and thrive. And that's, I would say, the mission number one is to protect our democracies and lives of people by protecting critical infrastructure. Probably, difficult to say, a very good question, because as a young child and then the girl, I liked a lot reading and learning. That was really my thing. And this, that I like learning so much, I kept till nowadays. And it's helping now in this sphere because it's quantum. I didn't study quantum, but I have the attitude I can learn. I can sit and read, discover something new. And I've noticed not many are doing it. And I was a bit in shock. And this constant motivation, the drive to learn and to read, this comes from my childhood. And I'm so happy I actually did it, because when you're a child and you are like this, sometimes you say, should I stop it and join my friends outside? So you still have to have balance. But now I see that it was really helpful. And when I'm talking also to technicians, they are talking to me, they say, wow, perfect, you understood what others can't understand after so many explanations. And yes, I'm sitting and I'm listening. I'm motivated. And that's what really brings forward. Because quantum is not simple. It's technology after all.
Talking about quantum, can you share your journey in quantum technology and what inspired you to co-found 2Q?
Yes, we started, of course, with communication systems because co-founder comes from communication systems. She was building them on an industrial scale, and she was maintaining big networks that were spanning over 4 continents. So she has really expertise.
If you say communication networks, do you mean wireless networks, fixed line networks, or do you mean
Everything
routers and
exactly.
switches like Cisco, Juniper?
Exactly. This all she was maintaining them, building them, rolling them out, including smart cities, and this is her home. And she saw what is not working out, and that's why she made her own, designed her own, developed, engineered her own communication system. When our head of research and development joined, then they added post-quantum resilience. So definitely the security is in the heart, because without security, you can't build anything nowadays. So it's dual use, it's watertight, everything. When it comes to technology, they really thought about everything. And then they made risk assessment and saw, wow, the quantum computing is actually developing. Take a look. There is a lot in it, and soon quantum computing was meant to break code, and soon all the encryptions won't be safe. They took a look what academia is doing, what big companies are doing. We were also very active in the ecosystem in Denmark, took a look what is there built, and they say, wow, take a look, we found something. They discussed, and yes, it's actually working out, and they came up with true quantum network to protect only critical infrastructure. That's important to remember. And of course, part of true quantum network is the communication system. So this was a very long way to develop first the communication system. It took, if I'm not mistaken, around 6 years. And then based on this, then plus 3 years. So it's a long process. But we are here now. Head of research, hang on. When co-founder started, I don't know exactly. So she started before because she saw the need of it, but she didn't make the company. So this was before 2022 for certain. So now I would say 6 years ago around, she started to develop a communication system. And then 3 years ago, then quantum network. So the process was long, but to come with the company, we decided later, of course.
What problems are you trying to solve with true quantum networks?
Yes, as we took a look, also did our risk assessment, our head of research and development took a look and said quantum computing is posing a threat to critical infrastructure, to critical systems. There are lots and lots of cyber attacks on the critical infrastructure. Some we know about others we don't know because it's not very public. And we took a look also what academia is doing, what big companies are doing. The critical infrastructure has to be protected. Power grids, water supply, health sector. Because if this is gone, then the lives are under threat. 1 year ago, I had a conversation and I was presenting our true quantum network. And I said, critical infrastructure is actually lives of our parents, of us, our kids, the ones we love. And people were sitting, what does it have to do with actually lives? It's just critical infrastructure somewhere far away. But after the recent hacks on the hospitals, on the dam, there is no such question. So we're actually protecting lives by protecting critical systems. On another hand, also all the hacks on cryptocurrencies, financial sector. The recent news, 5 years ago, there was a big theft of cryptocurrency. And in today's value, approximately 14.5 billion US dollars were stolen. And this is 5 years ago, and we figure it out now. So how much is actually hidden? We don't know. So the need to protect what matters is truly ginormous. And the solutions that are now are not enough. not sufficient because current solutions are concentrating on maybe on one level, but
for the listeners, how many levels are there? And you walk us through a little bit on that?
Yeah, for example, OSI model of the system of the internet has 7 layers. And if we take a look at the solutions, they concentrate on one part. But what is with your operating system? Your system as safe and secure as, for example, your operating system, as the user level. So they have to protect from point 0 to up, and not, for example, just data transfer or just communication sector. And what is with data centers? What is with the sensors? So that's why we built a very complex solution to protect 7 layers of OSI model of the internet, of all the systems, plus against sabotage, plus data centers, plus sensors, because sensors are extremely vulnerable. And as we know, hackers are not following the book. They don't say, wow, I can't go through PQC, I don't go around. Of course not. They say,
and PQC stand for?
Post-quantum cryptography. Currently, it's everywhere, a big thing. And we agree post-quantum cryptography is a key to protect partly your data, but it can't be enough. That's the point. The hackers are not following the book. They see where the system is vulnerable and they go there. And if they go around, then they go around.
And is it maybe fair to say, so yes, you can apply post-quantum encryption, and that would really make that part safe, but there are ways to go around. And what can you give maybe 1 or 2 examples how hackers can go around the post-quantum encryption?
Post-quantum cryptography, yes, can be part of the solution, but it's extremely costly, and you need truly people who understand what they are doing. Plus, post-quantum cryptography is based on mathematics, and development in mathematics poses a threat then to PQC. So if quantum computing is coming from 2033, theoretically they have to make up a few years each and every year, 3 years, new ways to protect their data. Plus, it's expensive encrypt and decrypt. So it's not a very wise solution. It can be a key, yes. And the hackers, as I said, first of all, it's about users. It's about your system. How protected is your system? What operational system are you using? There is also a lot of questions. And what is interesting, when we are talking about hacking, we always say we are not there to educate, because we can write a very big book how to hack, but that's not our job. because we read recently hacks done by AI, and if you are actually, and our experts took a look, if you're actually following step by step, you can do it. And this is creepy. Why to educate? People who wouldn't have the idea now have the opportunity to do it, and it's easy. So we are not there to educate, and we know so many ways, but we are not red team. We are in the blue team. The blue team who understands how hackers are ticking, and maybe a bit more, because we are truly paranoid.
Olga, you need to help me out here. What do you mean with a quantum network? What is your definition of a quantum network? Is this the connection between 2 quantum computers? Is that what you mean, a quantum network, or is it differentiated?
Yes, it's something completely different. So
okay, let's explain it to me.
Yes, exactly.
Let's simplest terms as possible.
Yes, I truly give it a try. So if we take a look at the power grids, right, and the power supply, the plant itself, all the devices, all the computers, embedded sensors, everything that makes it work is connected in the network.
And then there are the 7 layers of OSI.
Yeah, exactly. And we are protecting exactly this network that makes the power grid function, the power plant work. So it's, as we are coming from internet networks, from communication systems, we are addressing exactly those networks in critical infrastructure. Power plant, bank has its own network, cryptocurrency platform also has the network, and we are protecting exactly those.
And that is your definition from a quantum network, and that is where true quantum networks focuses on.
Yes, exactly. There where we focus on. We don't focus on quantum computers. And our quantum network is meant to protect against any and every threat.
Threats.
Yes, of course, because it's everyone is talking quantum threat. Yes, but take a look now, today. We don't have to take a look into the future. There are so many hacks without any quantum. Hackers were almost in each and every system. So you don't need to invent anything and wait for 2000, let's say 30, 33. They were in each and every system. Now they're using AI. And what can they do potentially then with quantum and supercomputers as a hybrid attack? This is, you have to think now.
Olga, I want to park it a little bit. I come back to that. Maybe to summarize this part first, in one sentence, how would you say what problems is true quantum network solving?
Yes, we are solving the problem of critical infrastructure. We protect critical infrastructure in the way that it's unbreakable for the next decades to come, because our solution is meant on physics. So no matter the development in mathematics, our solution remains stable and working and functioning. Mathematics based on, for example, post-quantum cryptography, right? And we took a look at quantum network from the point of view of physics and engineering. How to make it that our solution has nothing to do with cryptography. So nobody can go in, you understand? Our security is based on the hidden features of quantum mechanics, where part of the superposition remains in the complex part, the imaginary term which can't be intercepted without getting noticed by the system.
Can you walk me through the threat landscape?
The attacks are so bad, especially on the critical infrastructure. The companies are hacked, we all know, we are reading it almost every day, but the dam is under attack, the health sector, power grids, banks, cryptocurrency. The hackers are using now AI, and we have to see also how to use AI to defend against it. So there are lots of AI hacks, not only engineering, social engineering, and state-sponsored hackers. Yeah, of course, we can take a look at North Korea and what they stole on cryptocurrency, and what Russians are doing. It's also a lot. And we estimate that the losses will be, when quantum is there, around 7 trillion US dollars on the critical infrastructure. So the damage is truly ginormous, and we have to understand it. And fortunate now people see it, because it's not comparable with what was before 2022. And this is our motivation to really protect the system, this critical system on which our society is based. Imagine what happens if there is no electricity in one of the major cities in Europe. I mean, yeah, exactly. And that's what we don't want.
I heard from people who were in Spain where there was electricity for a few days, and they were getting scared. This lasts for a few more days. Is panic not breaking out? So,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. This is what we see. It's panic, it's destruction. It's better to be protected. But unfortunately, you have to talk about it, because so many don't understand that if you don't have electricity, it's like almost the end of the world as we see it. So, and the hospitals, all the hacks on the hospitals, this is so dangerous. People who have heart pace also under attack. So this is exactly where saying, let's work together and let's protect this. Let's see that the solution is complex, that on each and every layer you're protected. And we even did risk assessment and about those threats, quantum, hybrid attacks, and also supercomputers, AI. So the landscape is truly ginormous, and you can write about it, white papers. It's endless.
One of the things that I found shocking was that on LinkedIn there was an article that there are Chinese students studying, writing papers, how to crash what the weaknesses are of the US utility sector and the energy networks. I found it quite shockingly that it's allowed to do those kind and just in the open.
Yeah, and yes, about China, of course, Chinese have universities where they study their hacking, and Chinese students, Chinese academia is everywhere in Europe, and they have to then go back home and to share the knowledge. This is another danger, of course, and you understand. Then it's political. So people unfortunately don't like to talk about politics, but cybersecurity is touching this topic. Chinese built their golden wall of internet, where all the traffic is controlled and everything that goes to China is controlled and seen. And that's why their quantum network, their pseudo-quantum network, is really a good protection because of this wall. And of course, Chinese can do a lot of harm to our systems because of their protection. And they are building and working very hard on their quantum network to move it into Russia. And if I'm not mistaken, they are already in Russia protecting part of critical infrastructure. And they are now protecting 3 layers out of 7. And yeah, the development in their system is truly amazing. And this is what we can see. This is important to understand. Quantum is national thing, so it's protected extremely. What we can see in public, this is just one tiny bit what is allowed to be shared.
Okay, maybe let's focus on true quantum networks. Can you walk us through the threat model and the guarantees? So what is your explicit threat model, including insider threat, compromised endpoints, BGP hijacked, and supply chain and lawful interception backdoors?
So our true quantum network was truly well thought through, because the experts are coming from cybersecurity and networks, so truly paranoid. Sabotage is impossible. True quantum network is built on existing infrastructure, but in the way that sabotage from inside and from outside is impossible. It will be immediately detected and can be prevented. So as I said before, it's a very complex solution, and we used a lot of ways to protect the system, not only quantum. Quantum, as I said, is just part of it. Because of the complexity, because you have to see where the attack can happen. That's why we say it's to protect everything against each and every threat. And if there is already malware in the system, and we build and we put the system into the quantum network, this malware can't call home. It's neutralized. So the system from outside, you can't even see it. So that's why it's additional way to protect it. The attackers can't see that the system exists for them to go in. Yeah, it's all really thought through, designed, engineered, and it's important that it's engineered and not just built by the physicist. Because if you engineer, you want to do it on a big scale. You understand, yes, it's more than the lab, and the conditions are different. And this is what we saw. You must understand you can scale up and that it's functioning, that it's actually protecting, and it's cost effective. Because if you're building a tiny somewhere in the lab, the costs are one thing. But if you're building for example, over the power grid or over the bank, the cost will be different. So we thought about this, and as I said, when it comes to technology, our guys really thought everything well through because of experience, expertise, and also because this who is working in cybersecurity understands me. It's paranoia. You want to be really, really certain nothing will happen, and it's really on the layers.
And what does true quantum networks not protect against?
A direct missile hit. Yeah, this was because I discussed them with our guys and said, yeah, direct missile hit. Even there is electromagnetic field, if there is atom bomb, still it can function. And the best part is, if one of the layers to protect is out, it doesn't compromise the entire system. The system continues.